Hey everybody, welcome back to the Deployed and Destroyed School of Leadership and Madness. I'm Steve, and with me is Iggy.
Hello.
And so, in our first bit, we had Paul with us, but he had to jet. He's got very important Paul things to do. We talked about, kind of briefly, just nailed a bunch of things all at once. We're not trying to be specific. We're not doctors in sleep care. We are just individuals who sleep poorly and have done so for a very long time. And we're just trying to help you kind of help your way through it. So in that first bit, we just hopefully if you learned anything from that, if you did at all, just go get it checked out and don't worry about it. Don't like it's not anything that should be embarrassing. That's not the right feeling to have for something like that. It can be embarrassing when you sleep in too late and then you're late for work all the time, or you're late for this or you're late for that. I was always like that. And then I learned I have like an intense sleep phase disorder on top of being a night owl. And so I just had no business having a job where I was supposed to be there at 7 in the fucking morning. So what can we do for you tonight? Let's try and help you fall asleep tonight. If you can't sleep, let's figure it out. So, the first, I think the easiest, quickest method we could teach is there's this breathing technique that the Army tries to teach its troops, and I think the other branches are starting to pass it on. But it's really simple. All you have to remember is three numbers. Well, don't forget it anyway. 4, 7, and 8. Those are the important numbers. So think about it this way: you're going to breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it for 7, and then breathe out for 8. And then in for 4. And then you do that till you pass out. Now, and that's literally the technique. And what's happening there is your body's really stupid. Now, you might be smart, but the rest of your body's a fucking idiot. Like the part of your mind that knows it's you and all that stuff. And we've hit some of that biology a little bit in the past, but like a lot of your body's an idiot and it needs to be coaxed into knowing what's going on. So, what you're doing by controlling your breathing is you're controlling the one thing you actually can control in a moment of stress. Um, and then you're also convincing your body that you do have control. And you're convincing your body to let the other systems kind of chill out and relax and that you know what's going on. The reason a lot of times you may be ruminating or your head might be spinning from anxiety or something is because your body doesn't feel safe. Your brain could be like, it's time for bed. Of course, we're going to bed. But your dumbass body's sitting there awake all night because it's got the jitterbugs too. And it doesn't know how to articulate to it. Like it's difficult to learn how to talk to the rest of your body. And it's weird to find out that, like, oh, I'm not as much of, or I'm not as in charge as I thought I was of many of the systems that are going on. But you can definitely take control again. And using the 4-7-8 breathing method is one you can use. Do you got any kind of breathing methods that you use specifically, or do you got any? Do you count or?
To get to sleep?
Mm-hmm.
No, I use. I
Well, you got
hate
that
to admit
hose in
this.
your face.
Yeah, well, yeah, I got the. Actually, I got it right here. I wear this contraption.
Ooh, you see, I was born in the darkness.
No, but old girlfriend of mine from high school, her swimming coach taught her or told her, you know, imagine there's a floor and there's just a little guy sweeping up the floor, getting all the shit out of the way.
Mm.
And that's what I do, like a little Mario guy there. You get creative, use the snow blowers and shit like that.
Mm.
It's your mind. You do what you want. But
The back and forth of that is kind of critical, and it hints on something that is there, but it isn't talked about much because it sort of hasn't until recently been sort of discovered or labeled or recognized or whatever. But humans really dig the metronome effect, and it's super calming on us. If you've ever seen any kind of cartoon where they're trying to hypnotize somebody, they bust out a watch and they go, "Oh, you're getting very
Oh, you can
sleepy."
download a metronome on for an app for sleep.
Yeah, and it actually kind of does the trick. And where you're establishing a calmer rhythm and slowing down the rest of your body with that breathing of in and out and however you manage it, the back and forth business helps you to. Geez, my chair's rolling all out from under me. The back and forth business, it's kind of bizarre. You should definitely check out this thing called EMDR app, eye motion. Shit, I don't know what it is, but I've had it done to me, and it's a pretty awesome effect. Um, but it causes either side of the brain to kick in, and that may not sound like anything, but it actually is. And so developing a pattern of left and right is actually helpful. And so another, I need to get the guy's name who he said it, he sort of developed it. But something you can do also to help yourself go to sleep is just pat out a pattern on your chest or on your legs or wherever, and you can have it off rhythm and have one on one side and one on the other, or both at the same time, or however you do it. Do it on your legs, do it on any part of your body, it doesn't matter. You can do it lightly while you're falling asleep, but that kind of light patting, the more you do that, you're just naturally going to become tired. And then you just naturally let the pace kind of slow down, and you watch your breathing, and before you know it,
Well,
you're
they
out.
say turn off your, all your electronics an hour before you go to sleep.
Yeah, that actually is good advice, and it's hard. I'm sitting here staring in all these, like I said before, 18 little screens in front of me, and it takes me a good couple hours to spin down just from sitting here in front of all this light. Because again, your body's an idiot, and all this light makes my body think, "Oh, it's daytime then, so we gotta do daytime stuff." So you have to trick your stupid ass body into thinking it's nighttime and turn off all the lights. It sounds dumb because it is. You're not the dumb person you're tricking. Your stupid body's who you gotta trick. That's the craziest, weirdest part is that, like, we get it. You'd like to go to bed on time and wake up on time, but the rest of your body's a dumb shit and it's gonna do what's gonna do. Um, Another thing you can do besides sort of tapping things out or this sort of metronome things, there's some apps you can get, and there's two apps I use. They're not sponsors of any sort, but might as well give them a shot. This one, Relax Melodies Sleep Sounds. I think it's for Apple as well, but this is the Android one, and I use this with that. What do you call it? The Bluetooth sleep mask, and this will play a tone the whole night, and then I can kind of zone out that way. Another app that's real good for if you're not sure how badly you sleep or whatever. Um, this app here is extremely powerful. It's called Sleep as Android. Um, it's a sleep cycle tracker, a smart alarm, this, that, and the other. It will monitor your sleep for you. If you have a smartwatch or a Fitbit or something that connects to your phone, it'll link that data. It'll wake you up on time. It'll help you out a lot. It's got a lot of neat little tricks in there to help you get to sleep or wake up better. Um, but it can also record if you're snoring or if you have sleep apnea or if you sleep by yourself. This can record some evidence for you that you can present to your doctor to be like, hey, I need a sleep study because this ain't right. Um, so it's great for that. I use it to track my sleep more than anything else, but I also use it for its alarm clock feature all the time too because it's great at how it wakes you up. Um, and so you don't necessarily need to go get these, but these are definitely helpful aids that are out there. In addition to all kinds of other things, there's
Fan. I like just listening to a fan on.
yeah, white noise does the trick. Pink noise, brown noise, all the variations on white noise. What's kind of interesting is like that staticky sound of white noise is the same sound that like it's that when you on old TVs, and that from old TVs is randomized noise from the echo of the Big Bang. So I have like an old phosphorus TV in my hallway, so I can just turn it on every once in a while and watch the Big Bang, not the TV show, but the actual fucking thing. And it's that crazy sound, and it does help because it drowns out a lot of other things. If you have like a stimulation issue, if you wake up a lot at night, having I play one where it's got there's these brainwave, what the hell are they called, binaural beats, and it uses that metronome effect of passing sound from one side to the other, and it uses it at a certain frequency to try and get certain things going. I don't know 100% about that, but I've been utilizing it for quite some time, with some pretty good result. I mean, it could be placebo, but on the other hand, I'm a professional fucking insomniac, so if I'm saying it works, it does all right. It does the trick. Um, but again, too, these may not be for you, so give it a shot at least. These ones are free or have free trials.
And cut out the caffeine. That's a big thing. The coffee
Yeah,
or the
and it's not like just an hour before bed. It's like 6 hours before bed. Like your body has to burn all that stuff. And so if it's not burnt out, it's still going to be doing something. So you've got to give it enough time to get out completely. Um, I think that's the most we really need to. I mean, so many people cover sleep and cover it better than us. So I could say for sure, if you're coming to us for sleep advice, hello, you definitely need help. But two, go check out the other resources. If you know, I would say before you go burning through other YouTube videos and other clips and other things, hit like and subscribe and the notification button. But also turn off all the lights, get it as dark as you can. If you're not good with complete silence, I'm not, then get a white noise machine or a sound maker and check your breathing. Breathe in real
oh, you can
slow.
probably do it off your Alexa thing too, right?
Yeah, if you've got one of the Echoes or Google Assistants or any of those home things, yeah, and it'll play all through the night. And so there's tons of options. There's again, like we kind of say a lot of times, like go do the warrior stuff because there's no reason not to. There's no excuse not to. There's plenty of reasons why not. Like if you avoid getting your sleep checked out, like it could kill you, and that's no bullshit. You know, it'll start catching up to you in your 40s, is when you start seeing friends die of sleep apnea. But I've seen people in their 20s and 30s die from sleep apnea, and like it's real. It's a real thing. So don't be
Oh yeah.
embarrassed because you snore. That's so fucking juvenile to die over embarrassment. Dumb shit. Go get it checked out. All right, you're bothering the people next to you. In our next little script bit, we're gonna take another quick 5 minutes, and then we'll be right back because we want to talk about not just what happens in in our leadership and our madness, and we like to get into details and topics and this, that, and the other, but you know, not sleeping has a definite effect. You know it as somebody who's not sleeping so hot. I mean, we all have it in us where it eats at you and it wears at you. And when
Yeah.
so many people are so worn and tired, we start to see a problem where not only is our population not sleeping, but we seem so tired that we're not dreaming anymore. And that's almost more frightening. The fact that the American dream is now a historical thing and not a process of birthing new dreamers to come up with new shit. Like, we're trying to bring up old Civil War doctrines and Victorian eugenics, and like, we tried it, it sucked. Let's do something else. It's the future already, guys. So that's what we're hoping we can talk about a little bit in brief, and then we'll do a little bit of close, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But hey, thanks for checking out this chunk. Um, remember, if you need anything, if you're going to remember anything, remember that breathing, remember the Mario trick, remember a metronome, remember some music, some white noise, turn off the lights, disconnect, sit in the dark for a minute, give yourself an hour. But as a pro insomniac, if you haven't fallen asleep in an hour, it's not going to happen in 2. So get up, go walk around, and try it again. Treat every attempt to fall asleep like a fight, and you're probably going to lose the first couple of fights, and that's okay. But sit there, try your tricks, and if it doesn't work, get up, walk around, go watch a half hour or something, and try it again. That's
Yep.
the best advice we could probably give. And we're not doctors. So go see the fucking doctor too, all right? But be wary of those drugs. That's from point 1 and point 2 and whatever. Like, have a plan to get off any drug you have a plan of getting on. That's always going to be critical in your care. So we love you, gang. We appreciate any questions and comments you guys put in. Our little talk on sleep started with a question we had from our friend and viewer Chelsea about nightmares and how they just kind of keep coming. And we have a lot of people with a lot of questions on what do you do, and we try our best to help. This is our first shot at tackling this subject.
Well, we forgot one thing for that.
What did we forget, sir?
We didn't talk about weed.
Oh yeah, marijuana. Well, there's definitely some things to consider with it because it will relax you to a degree. It will do a number of things to allow you to fall asleep more easily. But because it can cause tachycardia, it can precipitate anxiety or panic attack. Just means fluttering heart, so your heart flutters a little bit. And then if you get too wild in the noggin, you can turn that into an anxiety or panic attack. Seasoned potheads are just go, and then shake it off. But
Yeah.
first timers might be like, I'm going to die. No, it's just a little, and you're good. It's weird, but it's a thing. And then marijuana also affects REM sleep.
If you want it for sleep, it's indica.
Yeah, indica couch. Remember that, because sativa will have you bouncing off the fucking walls and trying to start businesses.
Sativa for me is like I said, 3 or 4 hour panic attack.
Oof. Yeah, it's definitely rough because if your body is waiting to have a panic attack, then it's gonna jump in there, And again, we're both potheads, and we'd love to say that. And we're new to it, by the way. We both just started within the past couple of years.
Yeah, I don't even think I have a year in yet.
Yeah, I'm 2 years in, so it's terrific. Don't get me wrong; it's fucking amazing. However, there is no safe way to hurt yourself. Just remember that always. All right, gang. So try the breathing. 4, 7, 8. Little metronome, little tappy, little of this, little of that. Turn off the lights. Have yourself a good rest. We love the fuck out of you, okay? Go have some warrior dreams.